Hey guys, so we got a request from a friend of ours, Nick Andrus, and he was just wanted us to talk a little bit about how regular drinking affects fat loss and overall body composition. And so it's a pretty straightforward message on this one. I think a lot of people associate alcohol with fat gain, and for good reason. It really hits you on both a direct and indirect level. Directly, I mean, alcohol is 7 calories per gram, and it also shuts down the oxidation of all the other nutrients. So your body will store fat from the other nutrients that you consume while it tries to detoxify the alcohol. And on an indirect level, it affects your brain and your perceptions.
Yeah, the drunk munchies, the 3 a.m. Taco Bell runs, right? Or
Yeah.
pizza. Or
Why is that?
Um, well, immediately it's because of it shuts down the prefrontal cortex and your reasoning ability. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, indirectly, like the day after your munchies are usually because of the leptin drop.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to expand a little bit on those. Prefrontal cortex shutdown. Why are people kind of more irrational when they drink? It's because your main reasoning center is either working slowly or not working at all.
Depending on how much you drink.
So especially in the fitness crowd and in the dieting crowd, where people naturally have this high level of like restriction going on around food all the time, all of those like guilty pleasures that they consciously
alcohol becomes
stop.
a license to misbehave.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. Basically, so like sticking with the health and nutrition fitness circles, alcohol is like your license to eat food you wouldn't eat otherwise. And I mean, that doesn't mean that the food is necessarily detrimental. Maybe having that release is actually and ultimately a net benefit. But do you need alcohol to have that release? And if so, then I think that's something to look into. But when it comes to fat gain, I mean...
Well, also it releases endorphins too. So I think that you're going to have naturally a drop the next day. You're also going to have more glutamate. So you're going to crave just more sugar and junk food the next day, like when you're hungover. So it's not just that day. It takes about a week for your neurotransmitters to completely re-regulate after one binge. I'm not sure about like just a couple drinks.
Wait. But like with leptin, when you drink alcohol, just the equivalent of me having 3 drinks or you having 2 drinks based on weight, it's about like 0.45 grams of alcohol per kilogram of body weight. So for me, that's 3 drinks.
That's like 5-ounce glasses of wine.
These
ladies.
are standard
like,
drinks.
Not your whole bottle in one glass.
Yeah, so 2 drinks for Brianna, 3 drinks for Alex, and this is enough to have the alcohol literally directly bind to your fat cells and
suppress the leptin.
Yeah, alter the expression of the gene expression of leptin. So you have less circulating leptin, and that's going to make you hungrier.
Yeah, so leptin tells you that you're full.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And so when that's not working properly, you're of course you're going to eat more.
Yeah, so basically the appetite stimulating effects of alcohol are how it indirectly sabotages any dieting attempts or fat loss, because it's going to make you hungrier, it's going to encourage you to eat more food, and you're going to be able to reason yourself into eating crappier food.
Yeah, another thing that I don't understand is everyone in the fitness world is like, don't do cardio, it raises your cortisol. Well, so does alcohol, and those are the people that are drinking that are saying don't do cardio.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. And so basically that's kind of our answer to you, Nick, is that alcohol...
There's many mechanisms.
Yeah, many mechanisms. Most of them have to do with the brain, even the leptin effects. Yeah, leptin comes from fat cells, but the whole way it works is by binding receptors in the hypothalamus to regulate your energy intake. So...
And it takes about 7 to 10 days for everything to go back to normal. So 1 binge a week is enough to screw up your week.
And if
maybe not a lot, like with me, like I've gotten away with doing that, like drinking once a week, but it's just not reasonable for most people. Like, unless you're super neurotic with your diet all week and under eating all week.
Yeah. And then,
which most people cannot do.
Yeah. And that's kind of for the people who have read her excellent moderator and abstainer blog. That would be what happens with abstainers, where they restrict and then indulge and then restrict. If you're a moderator for alcohol, then you're going to be having these subtle effects happen.
Well, you don't notice anything big because you have 2-3 drinks here and there, like a couple times a week, but it's constantly affecting your brain chemistry and your leptin.
Exactly.
Constantly. Like because you're never, like, I think with abstainers, they hit hard, right? When they drink, they overdrink. And so then they don't want to drink for another week or two. But with the moderators, they don't ever get that excess.
Yeah, the effects are much more subtle. But as I just said, 2 to 3 drinks is enough to reduce leptin signaling. In the research I've seen, reduce it by like 30%. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're having that happen around the clock, then you're going to have a lot harder time keeping your appetite down.
Yep.
So,
if you like this, give us a like, share, comment.
Thanks.
Bye.